So welcome. And so we're here to talk some about student rights. I'm very interested in what's going on with you and your schools, especially around the areas of harassment and bullying. So those are some of the pieces we'll talk about. I'm going to ask you, remember in the program it talked about how we should have respectful behavior around listening to everybody. So I'm going to ask you to honor those program values. But here's the most important thing about our time together is I believe anybody can say anything they want as long as they say it respectfully. And if you have any questions, I think you should ask them at any time. Is that okay? Okay, so let's get started. Yes, sir. Okay, so I want to start right on the top with student rights. And I put up 5 student rights that I thought of that we could talk about. And I'm curious about hearing about any other student rights that you'd like to talk about. So the most important student right you have in education is to receive a free public education in a safe learning environment. And in Oregon, that starts in the 1st grade, going to kindergarten's optional, and it lasts until you graduate high school in the 12th grade, okay? The second right that I'm concerned about is that you attend school without any harassment, inappropriate or bad names being called to you, or any type of racial slurs or sexual slurs. Yes? Huh? So the N-word is an inappropriate word.
Yeah,
and
I call that I punched you in the face.
Okay. Well, so hold on a second. So we're gonna. So you've come right out the box. Okay. So let me ask this question. I'm gonna put this to a vote. If you believe that our colleague should have gotten in trouble for punching somebody in the face after calling them the N-word, will you please stand up? Oh, okay, I'm gonna repeat the question again. Okay, because these are tough things in school, all right? So this guy called you the N-word, did you call him anything before it?
I told him to come back and he put his stuff down and came back outside. I went, boom, knocked him out. I didn't knock him out, I didn't.
Well, okay, all right, so thank you, I heard that, hold on. Thank you, yes. Okay, so that's what I want to see by a vote. So should he have gotten in trouble for punching somebody? If he should have gotten in trouble for punching somebody, will you please stand up?
I don't understand the question.
Okay?
It's like he punched the kid.
All right. So here's the question. So maybe let me rephrase the question to a basic question. Can you punch somebody in school? No. Is that really clear? Yes. So here's the challenge that we have in school. So sometimes someone does something negative to you, they should get in trouble for doing something negative to you. And we got to make them stop doing that. But if you do something negative to them, even though they did something negative to you, it doesn't excuse your behavior. Is everybody clear on that piece?
Yeah.
All right? Because we got the right to go after that student for calling our friend the N-word, but we also have to protect that student when our friend punched him out. Do you understand that?
Not really.
Okay. Well, it's important. All right. So something else we're supposed to do is take action to stop harassment. We're supposed to make sure that you're protected from anybody taking action against you. You always have a right to file a complaint if you're harassed or discriminated against. And then the last thing that's one of your fundamental rights in schools is you're supposed to be able to enjoy all of the programs, benefits, and activities that your school has to offer. And again, that's in a safe environment. Yes?
Is that like, why can't I join Side Girls? Like, is that kind of like student right 5?
Join what?
Side Girls.
What's Sci Girls?
It's like they only like girls in and
Okay, hold on a second. Let's wait, because so folks, going back to those rules, one person speaks at a time. Sir, go ahead.
they like only like girls in, and I think they should be able to let some dudes in as well.
So it may depend upon the charter of the club. So if the club is only for girls, that may be the rule. All right? Yes? Sure.
What do you do in that club?
All right, hold on a second. Did everybody hear the question? Okay, so can you repeat the question loudly?
I said, like, what do they do in the club? Like not like in the club, like warm to club. What do they do? Like, what is it for?
Basically, like, it's literally in the name, science.
Science.
They do science stuff.
Wait,
They'll
what?
have, they should at least have a side boys club if they have a side girls club.
So Jordan, I think the whole point of that club is because they want to get more females into the science and math industry because that's an area that is lacking females. So that is why it's called that, because we're trying to promote more females to get into that club. Because you will see more males into that department than you do females. So it's not that they're excluding men, it's the men are already the majority, so they're wanting to promote more females to get in. Does that make sense? Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Is there such thing as a black pass?
Oh my.
Is there such thing as what?
A black flag.
Oh my God, stop. Like at school, when I punched something in the face,
Oh
said,
my
"Dude, why'd you
God.
punch me? I got the blood bag."
Okay, so I can't answer that. I don't know. All right, so let's continue. All right. So can somebody define for me what is when you hear the term harassment, what does that mean to you? Yes. Someone attacking you. That's a form of harassment. Yes. Someone being abusive with words. Yep, I agree. That's harassment. You're doing great. Yes.
Like contact that you told them to stop and they won't stop.
Unwanted contact that you've told them to stop and it won't stop. That's excellent. Because the key thing is once we tell them to stop and they don't stop, that's intentional. And that really swings things in your favor. That's excellent. Any other comments about harassment? All right. So I heard some key things. It's unwanted, it's abusive words, it's inappropriate touching, okay? And we get concerned about discriminatory harassment, whether it's based on our race or our sex or our ethnicity or our disability, okay? And then here's the last thing that I want to talk about. Lots of times we just focus on harassment between students, but there can also be harassment between adults and students, between school staff, and harassment can happen at any age. All right? I want to find out and hear from you what types of harassment you've experienced in school. So I'm going to repeat some forms of harassment, and if these forms of harassment are forms of harassment that you've experienced in school, will you please stand up? Is that okay? So here's the first one. If somebody has grabbed you inappropriately in school, will you please stand up?
Don't laugh about that.
Okay, so 2 people are standing up. Thank you. I want you to keep looking. Please be seated. Okay? If somebody has forced you to kiss them in school, will you please stand up? All right?
Nobody wants to kiss me in general. I'd be nice if someone did.
Okay, but that's a story for another time. Okay, thank you. Here's the next one. If somebody has ever blocked your way from going somewhere in school, will you please stand up? All right, so look around. So that's a pretty big one. Somebody blocking your way? All right, thank you. You're warming up. Please sit down. If somebody says a nasty insult to you. Okay. Look around. Quite a few people up. Please be seated. Okay. So now I want to check in on people who've been called an inappropriate name. Okay. Okay, so if you've just been called an inappropriate name in general, will you please stand? Okay, thank you. Will you please be seated? Okay, if you've been called the inappropriate word, the N-word, for black people, will you please stand up? Quite a few. Please sit down. Okay, if you've been if you've been called the inappropriate B word for girls or women, will you please stand up? So wait a minute, so I have a question. None of the guys in the room have been called that inappropriate B word? Yeah. No, I don't mean just girls. I mean anybody who's been called that word. All right, please sit down. All right, if you've been called an inappropriate B word for Mexican or Latinx people,
Isn't that P?
starts with a B, will you please stand up? All right, fewer, sit down. If you've been called an inappropriate R word for a person with a disability, will you please stand up? All right, thank you. Please be seated. Now I'm about to take a risk because those are the inappropriate words that I know, that I hear in my job that students are being called. If you've been called any other type of inappropriate word that wasn't one of the 4 that I mentioned, will you please stand up? Okay, now this is going to make me nervous because I want to know. Some people are smiling. So here's the deal. Do you remember how I said the word to you? So I didn't actually say the word, but I said the word in a way that you knew what I meant. Do you understand what I'm saying? So I need you to tell us the word that you were called, not by saying the word, but in a way that we might understand what it means. Does that make sense? Okay, so who would like to try? All right, so I'm gonna start with you.
Like what they called me?
Yeah. Okay, so a P word that's sometimes referred to girls. All right, we understand. Good job. Yes?
The F word, that's also a word for cigarette.
Okay. The F word that's also a word for cigarette. Thank you. Yes.
They called me snakehead when I had braids.
Okay, I think that was inappropriate. Thank you. Yes.
Like, you know how, like, somebody who, like, dates a lot of guys, but, like, I haven't dated a lot of guys, but, you know, like, those kind of
I know those kind of words. Thank you.
called that, but I don't do it.
Okay. They called you the D word. Okay, thank you. Hold on a second, everybody. You're doing great. Can I ask you to speak a little bit louder?
The C word that is referred to women.
C word, that's for a woman, right? Okay, thank you. So this is, so here's my other question. Is this happening a lot or is it happening a little? A lot. A lot. Where does it happen most? Or tell me by show of hands, some places where it happens, yes. At school in general? Okay, some other specific places, yes. In the classroom, yes. Hallways. Outside, like recess? Or you don't have recess?
Yeah, no, like the lunch thingy. What do we call that?
The lunch thingy.
All right, so the kind of the time you have after lunch. Okay? Yes.
Playing Fortnite.
Okay, playing games, yes.
Sometimes people will drive by me and yell stuff out at me.
So people are doing drive-by harassment. All right, thank you, yes. Hold on a second, y'all are doing fine. What did you say? Online, when you're like waiting for lunch or waiting to get on the bus? Oh, okay, no, I understand now. So you mean online on the internet? So I hear you. So that's a lot of cyberbullying. Okay, we'll take a couple more. Yes, you, and then we'll come into you.
Little kids on Xbox. Little kids on Xbox.
Little kids on Xbox? Okay, so that may be in the form of cyberbullying. And one more.
Like after school activity, like sports?
Huh?
Like sports or like track and field?
So during sports, all right? So I've heard a lot of incidents about harassment and name calling that's occurred during sports, okay? I've heard it at football games, at girls' soccer games, at girls' volleyball games, at boys and girls' basketball games, and I've heard one incident at a softball game. This is statewide. Okay? Are there any other forms of harassment that we missed? Yes.
Violent harassment.
What do you mean? I agree about violent harassment. What do you mean by violent harassment?
Like hitting or abusing people.
All right, so anything that's in hitting or abusing or fighting. Okay, so here's my next question. How do you think your school responds to harassment? Okay. We have 3 minutes left? Oh, gosh. Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Okay, so I'm going to move this up, and I want to talk about some things that you can do when you experience harassment. All right, and I'd like to see how many of them some of you do. All right? So the first one, and one of the most important things, if you experience harassment, please don't blame yourself, because usually you're not doing anything wrong. It's the harasser who's doing something wrong. So that's important. The second thing is to tell a close friend. All right? And we're not telling your friend because we want to gossip, but we want you to tell somebody that you trust. And if it's a close friend in school, it could be someone that may go with you somewhere. So you, A, have a witness, and B, the person may be less likely to harass if there are two people present. The third thing is to please tell your parents. All right? The next thing, and I'm curious about if this works, if you feel comfortable doing so, talk to the perpetrator, talk to the person who's harassing you. Has anybody ever done that?
Yeah, they're like,
Okay, and so I want to hear from a couple of you. I want to hear from a couple of you if that's worked or not. So who's talked to the perpetrator? How did it go?
I ended up slapping them, but it went well.
Y'all.
I pushed the guy down the stairs and he tried to tell, and then the teacher started laughing and I didn't get in trouble, so I was glad about that.
Well, I think you were very. So I think you were very lucky not to get in trouble, but I really want to encourage you, if you're talking to that harasser, to make sure that you're not hitting. Yes.
It went bad
It went bad? Well, how did it go bad?
because I wasn't being nice, and then the person had an attitude to what I was saying.
Okay, so I appreciate everybody's honesty. So one of the things we need to know is maybe we don't talk to the perpetrator until we've calmed down and we think the perpetrator has calmed down. All right, let's take one more. Yes.
and they still harass me to this day.
Okay, they tried and they still harass you to this day. All right, so what happens when you tell an adult at school?
If it's Mrs.
Okay, so hold on, by show of hands. Okay, yes.
They just talk to us, and then they talk to the other person to try to make them stop.
So they talk to both people. Does it change the behavior? No. Okay. Who's had an experience where they've talked to the adult and it changes the behavior?
Oh wait, no.
Okay, tell us what you were gonna say.
So I was gonna say that like sometimes they just like take it as like it's not really that serious. Sometimes
Sometimes.
they take it as it's not serious and they don't like it.
Okay, let me take these two comments and then we'll stop. Yes.
Sometimes it makes it worse, because in experience, like people that say the N-word and then telling them, it just makes them want to say it even more.
All right, so sometimes it does make it worse. But here's something that I want to keep suggesting. If you report it and they talk to the person and it doesn't stop, you need to keep reporting it and letting them know. Because, well, so here's the best thing I'm going to tell you. On the back of this blue sheet is my name, my number, and my email address. And it's my job to help you with this. So if you're not satisfied with what your school is doing, I need you to contact me and I'll help you with this. Okay? Miss, we're out of time? We are out of time? All right, can I thank you very much for being here today? Okay?
My name is Malia. I am a freshman here at Western Oregon. I'm a business major. I am part of the Black Student Union. I guess for all of you thinking about attending Western, it is a very quiet campus. Honestly, you don't see a lot of us on campus, but that shouldn't be a reason why, you don't come here. In my opinion, I think it should be a reason why you do come here, because I feel like wherever you go, you make it, what you want it to be. And if you see, a lack, I think that's all the more opportunity to come and make a difference, make, our presence aware on this campus. I think that's what some of the efforts of the Black Student Union. So I hope you all had a good time. And I think one thing I want to say for all of you, mostly the seniors, I guess, what's for you, will be for you. So, don't feel pressured to come here, but definitely give it some thought. And if it's meant for you, then you'll end up here. And I encourage you to come and make a difference and do your best.
All right, good morning. Can everyone hear me in the back? Yeah. All right. Ugh. I'm a little extra sorry. All right, so how's the food? Good, that's good. Oh, y'all ain't gotta lie, how's the food? All right, so my name is LaShawn Mill. I'm originally from Portland, Oregon, which is about an hour and a half north of where we are right now. I'm a double major in communications and criminal justice with a focus in youth crime studies. I'm intending to become a City of Portland police officer in about 2.5 years. I currently am in a cadet program with the City of Portland Police Program as a cadet lieutenant, basically meaning I'm wanting to learn more about the criminal justice system and change stereotypes about what people believe about the police and myself. Now, I'm supposed to tell you a little story about Western Oregon in itself, and I want to just encourage you guys all to go beyond the school itself. You guys visited the school, and I hope you guys got multiple sessions of that, but I really want you to push and strive for greatness. Earlier, you heard the word Black excellence. Black excellence is anything you do that is striving for your own success. I thought she was telling me to shh. I was like, oh. No, you're fine. Applied to multiple colleges. I applied to 13 colleges and knew I was going to come here, but it was the fact that I kept getting more acceptance letters, more financial aid, that I really decided I wanted to come here, run track, and get involved. Because I'm here, I'm able to make a name for myself and get involved in multiple programs. Being involved in Black Student Union is just one of the benefits of being here. I want you guys to strive for more great things. You got engineers, scientists, biologists. You really want to make a name on your campus, start by now by getting involved and applying for college. College might not seem like a thing right now, but time will fly by. In the next 4 years, you might even be on this campus. You probably won't see me because I'll graduate by then, hopefully. But you'll be making your own friends, living in the dorms, living the college dream. So one word of advice I'd probably give you to you, like one little sentence, is to work on getting involved and applying to college. Now, as a college student, you're going to be very busy like myself. I'm going to class in about 2 minutes. So with that being said, really work on your senior year, junior year, and sophomore year. Freshman year is important, but really work on making new friends and connections. They'll be the best of your experience, and really work the best of when you come to college. Thank you. Oh, I see you. Go ahead. I see you. Thank you.
So listen, let me thank each of the students here today. This has been a continuing successful conference, and it's successful because of you all's attendance. You've heard speakers from the keynote speaker to the concluding speakers of the students here at the university. Be encouraged. Let me have your attention. Hello. The success of this conference annually is a reflection of the students who come to attend it. You guys have been a tremendous bunch of students that attend this year. In fact, this year's attendance is the largest yet of this conference. We had more than 375 students. And it's an opportunity as you leave here to understand that you're not leaving the friendships and the introductions of the people you met today. It's important to understand that all of us are in this together. Whether you're a sixth grader or you're a senior that's in this conference today, the adults in the room, the adults back at your schools, the adults in the classroom are all there to help you become the exceptional you. Take advantage of that. So thank you all for being here today. I'm going to turn this over to Cynthia Richardson as we get ready to dismiss the schools in an order. Hold on a second. Thank you, Cynthia.
On the count of 3, I want you to say, thank you, NAACP. 1, 2, 3. On the count of 3, I want you to say, thank you, Salem Keizer Public Schools. 1, 2, 3. All right, give yourselves a round of applause. We're so proud of you. I want to make sure you complete your evaluations. There's a tub on the counter out front for you to put your evaluations in.